life has been ruined, so I'm gonna ruin yours. Okay? Are you a nail biter like me? I've been a nail biter my whole life. We tried different things. We've tried putting bigs on my nails. We tried everything.
Bigs.
But a couple days ago, I was on TikTok, and this girl was talking about how her mom got her to stop biting her nails, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to know because my anxiety is insane. I be biting my nails.
Hey, Segovia, back with another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Y'all, we're back with another video. Not our banger today, y'all. I got some things to do. Quick reaction getting down today. We're going to take a walk to the dark side of TikTok, y'all. You guys seem to love the dark side of TikTok, so we're going to keep rocking with it. But enough with the chit chat. Save that for the end of the video. Tell you guys what I got going on today. Let's get into the reaction. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Since nobody else is going to say it, that's the Schumann resonance, which means these kind of graphics can hit the road. And we can use something cool like this.
So Ellen released her apology video yesterday. Check it out.
I'm just so sorry that it's come to this. I really don't know what to say other than this has gone on way too long.
Sure
People have gotten away with murder, and that's what's happening.
What?
So we've got to see fair.
Is everything we're seeing right now biblical? Something extremely strange happened when the blood moon happened, and it hasn't gone back to normal since. Also, I don't know about y'all, but our electronics were glitching like crazy earlier today, and I think I just found out why. According to the Schumann frequency, we are in a complete blackout right now. If you don't know, the Schumann frequency is the resonance of the Earth that's recorded. People have been watching it for years. It peaked really strong shortly after the blood moon, and then it's been offline ever since. Now, this is causing people to think that we just completely switched timelines. Depending on who you are, you might have slept really good and really late, or didn't sleep at all last night. Another thing I've been noticing about these eclipses is like every major storm is following where the April 8th eclipse went and going right to that direct location. And it's weird because also with the blood moon, it was the Jewish holiday of Purim, where they celebrated the defeat of those trying to massacre the Hebrews. And of course, in Syria right now, they're literally going through the same exact thing. A lot of people won't even be able to feel it, but there's something huge going on right now. Both physically and spiritually, because we see massive hail being rained down in Missouri, like in Egypt when massive hail started raining down on them, and spiritual, the Schumann resonance. And of course with Egypt, it was the hail, and then the locust, and then the darkness. I mean, it kind of does feel like we're living in Egypt, right? And by the way, of course, God can use mankind to bring forth His will and whatever that looks like. So I don't know, this has me side-eyed, and what do y'all think?
The concerns with AirPods and brain cancer is from the EMFs transmitted. AirPods use Bluetooth, which transmits radio frequency radiation directly into your brain. I've heard that with long-term exposure, so using them every day for years, can cause potential tumors. The Oura Ring uses Bluetooth low energy, and it also only submits the data periodically. So the Oura Ring does have lower EMF compared to the AirPods. So if you're worried about EMS, one, start using your wired headphones. And also I think it's really important to make sure that any company that you're purchasing from, so like your alarm clock, your Oura Ring, red light devices, you're making sure they're doing third-party tested for EMS.
You guys think of this, y'all? You selling it?
There's a really interesting video out of Cambodia where they have a temple. And there's a static, looks like a bunch of orbs floating around that top of that temple. And it would make you wonder, well, what would be the perfect situation or the perfect terrain or atmosphere at that time for that to occur? Why doesn't it happen all the time? So, you know, maybe they're trying to do whatever they're doing in the skies to try to counter that. And why, for example, like Wilhelm Reich's work with the Cloudbusters and Trevor James Constable's work with balancing out the atmosphere was a threat. Because I started to realize that when you have a bunch of sunny, healthy people, it makes you think differently. Maybe during the 1600s, 1700s, it was very different. Maybe the nitrogen was different. Maybe the oxygen or the hydrogen was different. And then you'd kind of tap in. And then once that event took place, it kind of changed everything and made things smaller. There's a lot of big people entering the realm right now. Like there's some basketball player that's like 8 feet tall and things like that. So something is happening. And now if we think of us as humanity, as a collective, we're also antennas too. So maybe the people were tapped into a different frequency. So we used to have these plasma.
I saw some. Yeah, there was a YouTube clip on Sean Ryan, a Navy SEAL that was like deep, dark, secret intelligence, right? A Navy SEAL. And he was saying how the giants back in the day, there was just more oxygen, bigger trees, bigger everything. That's why everything was so huge, right? Bigger lizards, the dinosaurs. So we'll find that clip in tomorrow's video, y'all.
It was a video about extinct animals. I'm
Absolutely.
glad this thing is dead.
What thing?
It's called the giant Cuban owl. They said it went extinct around like 10,000 years ago, but it was an owl, flightless
Like a
owl.
giant
What's the
owl.
point?
But it stood 4 feet tall, and it was fast, and it would chase its prey and kill it.
It's a raptor with an owl face.
Speaking of
Imagine
it-
if they could fly though, because then it would be still silent.
But he also talked about, I think we've mentioned multiple times, but the giant sloths.
Oh yeah, the caves, dude.
He gave a better description. One, their claws, 17 inches long.
Oh my gosh.
And they
I
said
mean, they were ginormous.
they weighed the same as Asian elephants.
Oh my gosh.
I assume
They
it's a
said-
sloth. It was slow.
Well, they said it was slow, but its arm movement was quick, so it could have slashed you.
They were the ones that dug rock tunnels.
Yeah.
If we were going to do that, like a hammer, you swing it fast so it had torque and power. But if
Yeah.
those things were just brutally strong enough to like dig out a mountain,
And maybe it has like momentum because its arm is so heavy, so maybe it starts slow, but then
maybe.
it's like. I don't think we know any of these things.
It's one of my bingo cards. Turns out that a multitude of the pardons that were signed, quote unquote, by old man Joe Carcass Biden are going to be null and void, which means that anybody who was under one of those pardons will no longer be under those pardons. Now, if some of y'all didn't hear the news a few months ago, this man not only pardoned many family members, including his own son, who he told the rest of us that he was never going to pardon, right? He also pardoned individuals who were literally known criminals, individuals who essentially conspired against these United States, including Mr. Fauci with the ouchie himself. Now, you may be asking, why exactly would these pardons be null and void? Glad you asked. Well, it turns out that many of the signatures that were given by old man Carcass were using AutoPen, which is basically a digital device that allows you to just kind of, use a signature you used in the past again. Click of a button, there's a signature. So that means if you, I don't know, maybe had a wife who at some points in your career as a president took over meetings and basically spoke on your behalf, as opposed to you doing your job as a president. Yeah, somebody like that could come in and just basically, quote unquote, sign those documents on your behalf, which would mean that they are null and they're void.
Casanet went to Playboy Cardi's Rolling Loud performance, and he found out just how demonic shit really get. If I was Kai in that situation, and I seen what I seen from one of Playboy Cardi mans, I'm walking off the set. I don't give a fuck about no VIP. You and everybody else there that was on that Rolling Loud set was welcomed into that ritual. They even had to stop the set midway through because they said 10 people passed out. Look, y'all. People still don't understand.
So 118,000
as you
subscribers,
heard,
y'all.
10 people had passed out in the crowd during his set. I do not know if anybody had passed away, but that's crazy, y'all. This is the dude I'm talking about, though. Look at this. Look at this man, y'all. Watch what he throw up. He praising him right in front of everybody's face.
Crazy, y'all.
Watch Kai. I'm telling y'all, this is what his music is about. It looked like hell on stage. I don't know what to tell y'all. That is not hip hop. That's scream hop. That's emo music. And I'm kind of upset at Kai. If you can make that face with your eyes big like this, and you like, what the is going on? Why would you still get on stage? You have the motion. You don't need that kind of motion. That shit turned that boy into an animal on stage. He ripped his tank top and everything, not knowing that that music is the reason why he was acting like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Make sure
When he live streamed that demonic ritual, and he has 118,000 subscribers. You know how much that money that y'all? I think Twitch is what I don't know if you said it or not, but $3 a pop per subscriber per month times 113,000, $333,000 a month just off of subscribers, not counting celebrities paying to go on his live streams and all the side money. That's crazy, y'all. And he had all those people. There's probably 100,000 people watching that little ritual going on at that crazy concert. Who goes to concerts? I've never been to one. Now I see why I've never been to one. My subconscious just said you don't need to go see that, right? Because I've never had the interest to go to a concert. I've never been to one, y'all.
like, comment, and share.
It's no wonder they say we're on the verge of a historic storm, because where I live, this has been the skies. Like the
That's how it
past
looks
week.
out here, too.
This is ridiculous. I'm also amazed that people think that this is normal. That's not normal. Not at all.
What is the real story about the lobsters at Red Lobster?
They invested millions of dollars into trying to farm lobster in East Asia, and it didn't work. And then what they did was they actually bought into the supply chain. So they actually started buying a lot of the seafood distributors so that they could vertically integrate. They've got operations overseas, Thai Union, that they're importing a lot of their seafood. So a lot of the lobster is the Maine or New England lobster, but then a lot of the lobster is also like slipper lobster or rock lobster, warm water lobster that's brought in from overseas. If you want to eat real lobster, you got to eat Maine lobster. The Maine lobster fishery is the most iconic fishery in the United States, and it is the prime example of how fishermen can manage their own resources as opposed to like a shadow government. So when the government comes in and says, here's all the standards, here's your catch quota, and like, you know, you're fined if you do X, Y, and Z, the fishermen are thinking, we're the guys out on the ocean. We're the ones taking care of the environment. We don't need this random guy sitting in an office in Washington, D.C. to tell us what to do based on some number he put into a spreadsheet.
Y'all, things are happening very, very quickly. 2025 is about to show its true colors. At least that's what Stephen Greer is saying. He said if not this year, definitely next year, for sure. But he said he would advise people that know what's going on to let the people in America know what's going on. So Stephen Greer was doing an interview with Alex Jones on his show InfoWars when he was disclosing a lot of things that he know that's finna take place and what the G's don't want us to know in this country, allegedly. So days after this interview, crazy shit has happened. And I'm not saying this interview got anything to do with it. I'm just saying, this was one of Alex Jones' reporters for his show. He said one of the best, and he was unalived in his city, at his home, outside in his home. And now that video that Stephen Greer did with Alex Jones is being suppressed. So I don't know how long that video is gonna be up. So y'all gotta check it out. He is saying some deep shit. Another person that works with Stephen Greer allegedly got his home swatted the other day. And remember, y'all, there's nothing wrong with him. He's perfectly fine. Good health, good mindset, everything. So just be on the lookout for him. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on this situation. I'm gone.
I'm not sure what you're teaching your kids, but I'm definitely teaching my kids that they can stay with me for as long as they like. They're 10 and they're 13, and I'm letting them know that they can stay with me forever. You all can keep, participating in the psyop of separating family, because that's how you divide and conquer people. Use your brains. The biggest psyop ever.
This is real,
Separate
y'all.
families.
That is so real. Like I saw a podcast clip a while ago, and the guy, he was like from, I don't know exactly where, let's just say the Middle East somewhere, right? And somebody asked him like, how do you work at such and such but drive this car, right? and he was like, you know, you Americans, you do it wrong. Like we're a family. We stay together. We all live together. We have some land and we build on it, and we our money is all one. You guys, the second you're 18, you go to college, you get all this debt, you go out here, you go there. One person gets an apartment, the other one gets a house. That is like a psyop, y'all. Because imagine if we were taught to stay together, how much wealth we can build with that. If we all put our brains together and said, this is what we're going to do with our money. One, you're the doctor in the family. You're going to go to college. You're going to be the, you know, the electrician. You're going to be the plumber, whatever, right? And we're going to all come together. We're going to put our money. We're going to invest. We're going to brainstorm. We're going to do research on, you know, how to make this double, triple, whatever. We're going to start getting into real estate now. We're going to just grow and grow. Like, imagine if that was our culture, y'all. How powerful it would be here. But guess what? If we were like that, we wouldn't need corporate America. So it is a psyop in a way, y'all. It is a psyop. It really is, y'all, that we, you know, they divide us and they conquer down to the family, right? Everyone's got their own house in your family, right? In America, I can't speak for anywhere else, but pretty much in America, everyone, 90% of everyone's got their own spot. If you're, you know, try going to meet somebody and tell her, yeah, I live with my family, and, you know, I'm 35 years old and I live with my family. Like, click, bye. You know what I mean? So it is a psyop, y'all.
Amazing, guys. All the meat that was high priced, $30 for prime rib, New York prime rib, is now down at $17. Everything dropped 25%. I was just told by the store. All the food prices have gone down in this store right here, and probably other ones.
I've seen demons in people. Have you ever looked at someone
And
and
just saw their
demon?
evil?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Especially when they drink or
Yes.
they're high on something.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's certain like that's why they call alcohol spirits.
Yeah.
Some people are too weak and it opens them up, and you'll see in their eyes it's like a different person.
It is.
Yeah. And like I've seen people, you know, I live in the South, and you know, my neighbor where I grew up, it became very covered with meth everywhere. People were on meth, and you could see like their eyes, and they would do evil shit to each other. Like literally, it would change them into somebody else, like somebody I grew up with, and I would see them, and then all of a sudden you see them on that shit, and it's like a whole different person. And you could tell there's a spirit that's like in them.
How does that happen?
So it changes your consciousness. And that's why they call alcohol spirits. That goes from way back, because you're basically lowering your inhibition, changing your consciousness, and then they, you know, if you're very weak-minded especially, the spirit will use you and take over you, especially while you're on that substance.
Change your ketchup for you and your family from this to this. Here's why. Look, I know we reach for the Heinz. Listen, I'm from Pittsburgh, man, and we love Heinz ketchup in Pittsburgh. But is it the same ketchup that I grew up with? The answer is absolutely not. First of all, of course, it has vine-ripe tomatoes, but then it steps into the high fructose corn syrup. Never, ever, ever give you and your family high fructose corn syrup. Yes, it has mercury, and it has all kinds of bad things that happen to your liver. We don't want high fructose corn syrup, and there's one more pitfall in here. Good old natural flavors. Oh, we don't even know what excitotoxins are in the natural flavors because there's IP that they don't have to tell us. Okay, look at this. I was amazed by this. Almost the same product until we flip it around and realize it's organic tomatoes. That's a step better. No glyphosate, for goodness sakes. No chemicals. Organic sugar, better. Some vinegar, spices, and organic onion powder. Really? That's it? It must be a lot more money. Okay, this is $4.39 for the Heinz. Absolutely, probably worth it for the Heinz name. I don't think so. This one, $2.89 for a product that is absolutely not toxic for you and your family. Switch that for that. Save the toxins.
Do you Pittsburghans put ketchup on your potato chips? Is that what you do? Do people do that? I've seen ketchup flavored potato chips. I never thought people put ketchup on. I guess it's like a French fry with ketchup. In my household growing up, you know, we put tapatio, some chamoy, some lemon juice, some Valentina, maybe some Red Devil, some Louisiana hot sauce on there.
If we had this conversation a year ago and I said to you, Iran's going to send 500 projectiles into Israel, only about 1% are going to do anything and no damage. And in retaliation, Israel is going to send 300 planes and destroy entirely all of their air defenses, leaving it completely naked and can be destroyed anytime they want. Then they're going to go into Hezbollah, and they're going to target with pagers and blow up 4,000 explosions. And then they're going to go into no man's land, the graveyard of empires, Lebanon, and they're going to destroy the whole apparatus of Hezbollah. And then they're going to go into Gaza after October 7th and destroy this terrorist Hamas. And then they're going to finally retaliate to the Houthi and destroy their port facilities and their power grid. They've done some of that. And then, oh, by the way, they're going to so weaken Iran and so weaken Hezbollah that the Syrian Assad, arch enemy of the United States, is going to fall. And it's going to be chaos. No one would believe you. And that's where we are now.
So now the $5,000 proposal from the Doge stimulus package has been reiterated. Now, previously, they were saying that any individual or American U.S. citizen that makes less than $50,000 will not qualify for the Doge stimulus package. But effective today, March 13, 2025, the creator behind the proposal to issue the $5,000 Doge stimulus package, James Fishback, he decided to speak out on the situation, saying that actually anyone who files a direct tax return and pays federal taxes would basically qualify for the Doge $5,000 stimulus package. Now, this matters because it will restore trust to the U.S. citizen. Also, it will make us look at the government in another light. Rather than them using and abusing us, they want to give back to the United States citizens. With that being said, you can give a man a fish or you can teach him how to fish.
Do you know about the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch that went down for running a sex trafficking ring?
Yeah.
He was Leslie Wexner's guy. When Leslie Wexner, he bought Abercrombie and Fitch in like 1990. And then one of the first things he did was he put that dude into position as CEO. That was Leslie Wexner's dude. And he becomes the CEO, and he's gay, and he likes really hot young male models. And he started running a male sex trafficking ring out of Abercrombie and Fitch. So Leslie Wexner, this dude who is a self-proclaimed possessed by a demon.
What?
Yeah. Whitney has a whole chapter where she goes into this article that was done by a mainstream news source like 10, 20 years ago, where they're interviewing Leslie Wexner and asking him about how he came to power and what's his secret. It's called his D-book, D-Y-B-U-K, and you can read about this on Wikipedia as well. And he describes in his own words that he's possessed by a D-book, which is like a Yiddish word for an evil demon that drives him for more and more and more and more.
This is the Enough is Enough card from the Illuminati card game made in 1994. There's like 200 some odd of these cards, right? You can buy this right now on eBay. Right now. It's very expensive, but you can do it. This card right here has this face on it, right? And who does that remind you of? Who does that remind you of? Let's see what this card does. What is this? At any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day. Yeah, it says that. Play this card on your own turn before drawing any plots, meaning, plots being Illuminati fuckery. This whole game is full of fuckery that they do, like pandemics and everything else. You may remove all zap, paralysis, or attribute freeze cards that are affecting your power structure. Cleaning house. However preoccupied with your house cleaning, you may draw no plots this turn. It means no Illuminati fuckery can be done right now because we're giving people the illusion that the Savior has come. That's essentially what this card is. And by deduction here, it appears that is the most powerful card in the deck because it freezes all other cards. It makes them all null and void at this time. And if you know cards, the most powerful card that defeats all other cards in the deck is called a trump card. Is this a coincidence? No, it's not. For entertainment purposes only. And this is why I've never trusted this system Never trusted him as much as I like Doge. I like all this shit. I love how funny Donald Trump is, and he's a go-getting ball buster. But man, I had a feeling this was a fourth dimensional player in this game, and enough is enough. We are literally playing this card right now for entertainment purposes only.
I used to steal my mom's car when I was 15 to drive to Philly. And these two are afraid to go in McDonald's by themselves.
We have some news right now. A French member of parliament, a deputy Euro member, is now calling on the United States to return the Statue of Liberty. Raphael Glucksmann at a recent rally said, quote, "Give us back the Statue of Liberty." He's a center-left politician. He further went on to say, "We're going to say to the Americans who have chosen to side with the tyrants, to the Americans who fired researchers for demanding scientific freedom, give us back the Statue of Liberty." He specifically took aim to Donald Trump's cuts to research institutions in the United States, which have already prompted a French government initiative to attract some of them to work back in France. He goes, "If you want to fire your best researchers, if you want to fire all the people who through their freedom and their sense of innovation have made your country the world's leading power, then we're going to welcome them." And he also wants the Statue of Liberty back. Obviously, it's unlikely that'll ever happen, but this is what foreign countries are thinking about us, foreign politicians. I'll do a full breakdown of all the news that you missed on my Substack later this evening. Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Listen.
You did not start no car battery with your bare hands.
If I didn't, may God murder my children. I hate that I even spoke about that. If I didn't, may God murder my children.
No, don't say that.
Please, kill them today. Right now, today. And to be honest with you, I just put my hands over the battery and prayed, Lord, please let this woman battery start.
On a physics level, that's impossible.
You know what my kids ask?
What do you guys think of that? I think he's from Louisiana. They do a lot of that. He's spoken about the craft, the Salem craft in his music. What do you guys think? I mean, that's something you don't say about your kids, about anybody. So, what do you guys think? Let me know down below.
They said, "Got to ask the president, does anything scare you?"
Slip.
Well, when Michelle's mad, I get worried.
Come again.
When Michelle's mad.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
When Michelle's mad.
Yeah, baby.
What is the biggest food industry fraud you've ever witnessed?
Olive oil.
Are you anti-olive oil?
No, I'm going to get hit by the mafia here. Most olive oils imported from Italy are cut with seed oils. That's why I always say know where your olive oil comes from, and you'll taste the difference. It's a true extra virgin olive oil is one of the most boldest, sometimes bitter flavors. When America started going Mediterranean diet, Italian food, olive oils, this mafia in Italy started importing or exporting olive oils cut with seed oils into New York City to their mafia, and it just proliferated all over the industry.
In 2020.
See what I was saying in yesterday's video? Like the lady with the chicken, if it's not air dried or whatever it was, like that dude probably just sold her that to get the chicken sold, right? Like down to olive oil, everything, y'all, everything. All I can say is if you're trying a high carb diet, keep that fat low, y'all. Because you don't like, you hear a lot of people on carnivore talking about you got to get grass-fed butter and grass-fed beef and keep that fat, keep them carbs if you're doing carnivore, or if you're doing keto, keep those carbs under 30. Fat, protein. If you can only afford, I've seen a doctor say this on YouTube, if you can only afford bologna and hot links and ground beef to get started, that's a lot better than eating french fries and a hamburger from McDonald's, right? I'm probably going to get crucified in the comments for saying that, but it's the truth, y'all. Grass-fed, all that, I don't pay attention to that. I just make sure my carbs are 30 or under, and fat and protein, that's just going to fall in place, y'all. I don't eat the healthiest fats and carbs. Proteins, like I eat what I can afford, y'all. Get started, get the ball rolling, right? Don't worry about the grass-fed, because sometimes when people hear that, and me included, when I was first starting out with this, I would get so discouraged and not do it because the people that are, you're watching are telling you need grass-fed, you need this, you need that. They make it so confusing on you. Hey, Look at the nutrition, look at the macros, the protein, fat, carbs, whatever diet you're trying to do. Just don't mix the two. That's all I can say. Don't mix fat with carbs. If you do that, which is the American diet, you're going to gain weight, you're going to get sick. One or the other. Pick one. You want to eat carbs, you want to eat white rice and, sweet potatoes. It ain't going to be good carbs. Or do you want to eat high fat? Pick your choice, y'all.
We thought we were going to get aliens, but this man went to go
Look at
walk
that
his
freaking
dog,
gnome.
and instead he saw a gnome. This gnome is pushing a wheelbarrow. What is happening?
What the hell is going on with the weather in Amarillo, Texas? I'm not gonna lie, parts of the city look like the movie Doom or Mad
We're on that
Max.
too.
The wind was blowing so damn hard that big ass 18-wheeler trucks were getting blew over. Y'all, look at this video. Look at this truck, y'all. The wind just blew that joint over like a motherfucking toddler. We all know what's been happening to cities after they been experiencing winds like this. North Carolina, California. There's no need for me to say more. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But this is crazy though. Like, is it tornadoes? Like, what's going on? I wouldn't even be driving at this point. If you gonna fire me because I can't reach my destination, it is what it is. I need somebody to let me know down below in the comments. Is this city one of the cities that's on that smart list? The smart city list? Y'all know what I'm talking about. If it is on the list, I wouldn't be surprised if a wildfire start. We all know wildfires been popping up lately. Y'all drop y'all thoughts down below in the comments.
Like, I got that wind coming back tomorrow. We got 2 days off, yesterday and today. It's going to be nice. Tomorrow, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds blowing dust. And then I think we're good for a week or so. So I might be able to wash my vehicles on Wednesday. I hope, because they're filthy. But what's the point of washing them when Tuesday it's going to be hell on earth? You know what I mean?
I rub the handles, the friction between my hands and those handles causes the entire bowl to vibrate.
What the hell? We're in a simulation, y'all. This isn't real.
You know what's
Fuel.
real bad?
What?
Scented candles. Scented candles
We're so
apparently are
full.
not healthy.
Fucks with
The
it,
ones that are made
Felipe.
from paraffin are the problem. It's a cheap byproduct primarily sourced from the refinement of petroleum. So you're burning petroleum. Paraffin is the most used candle wax worldwide, according to the National Candle Association, the major trade association representing U.S. candle manufacturers and their suppliers. So it's all candles made from paraffin? Like, how could it be good for you to have petroleum burning in your house? Measure the fucking air in the room when you have 3 candles. Measure the air in the room when you have 4 candles. Measure, keep going. Tell me when I'm going to get lung cancer from this shit. Because,
wow.
Yeah, benzene, a known carcinogen, is another VOC released by paraffin candles. Hawk added, long-term exposure to this chemical has been linked to blood disorders such as leukemia. When inhaled, benzene can also be a respiratory irritant. What is a candle that you can use? Like, there's got to be candles that are not bad. Candles made from soy wax, beeswax, or stearin, coconut oil, or animal fats are often considered healthier, but anything that is burned emits harmful particulates or chemicals, Evans said. So these candles also release VOCs into the air. It's just that paraffin wax is usually more polluting, according to... Oh, great. So they all suck. The risk of toxic emissions is greater when candles are scented or dyed, which is another reason why paraffin-free candles aren't immediately in the clear. This is because artificial fragrances have VOCs, including phthalates, which have been linked to learning and behavior problems, obesity, impaired development of the reproductive systems, and more. Evans said the unscented candle in the 2015 research also caused concerning concentrations of toxins, but had the lowest amount compared with its scented counterparts.
Over a 10-day period, the I-Team went undercover in the main post office parking lot downtown. We found more drinking and loafing going on here than at a fraternity cake party.
They say you can learn a lot about a person by going through their garbage. Well, look what we found. By going through the trash inside the employee parking lot here at the main post office.
At the main post office, booze is the beverage of choice, all hours of the day. It got so bad, supervisors called a special meeting to warn workers that the binges were getting out of hand. That didn't stop these two postal employees from pounding down a few. It's only 10 a.m., and already this guy's enjoying a bud. He chases it down with some hard stuff and another beer, followed by some liquid refreshment from a second liquor bottle. A few days later, neither rain nor sleet nor snow kept the same postal worker from his familiar spot in the parking lot and his portable bar.
You been drinking on the job at all?
Not at all. I don't drink
Nothing?
on the job.
You don't drink? Not good for you, huh?
No, I don't drink.
Can't get the mail out drinking on the job, huh?
Not me.
Guys, did we just witness the glitch in the Matrix? Okay. I'm going to show you. See if you can explain it, because we can't figure it out. And I would have stitched with this guy's video that my husband saw on TikTok, but it's grayed out and I can't. So we're going to try to recreate it. But when he was doing it, he had a really long mirror in his bathroom. So there were more angles to look from the side. Anyways, here you go. Okay. So the deal is, when he covers up his reflection, we shouldn't be able to see it, right? Or be able to see him, right? But depending on the angle, I'm behind the towel. How can we still see him?
Monkey brain
Towel's
can't figure
covering
this
him.
out. I'm sure you guys are gonna let me know in the comments.
Yeah, I can see you. Right there. How is that if the towel is covering your face? Okay.
What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
Flushable wipes are not flushable. Chemical drain cleaners fix clogs. Duct tape will stop your leak. Ice cubes sharpen garbage disposal blades. Hot water and soap will dissolve grease in your drain. A brick in the toilet tank saves you water. Putting lemons down your garbage disposal cleans it. You can fix a clogged drain with baking soda and water.
Saying the new Black Mirror trailer for season 7 hits too close to home, here are times where Black Mirror episodes hit too close to home. Up first, Nosedive, set in a world where people's social media status dictates whether they get a nice house or a nice job, and if you don't have a good social media status, then you can lose all of that. It is true that in the real world that social media status can get you perks in life, and even some actors coming out and saying certain actors are casted because of their social media status. Next, Hated in the Nation, where people on social media get taken out one by one for getting canceled. This episode came out way before cancel culture was so big, so it's kind of crazy how Black Mirror predicted that. Next, Be Right Back. After a woman loses her boyfriend, she's still able to text him with AI pretending to be him. I'm pretty sure there's an app right now that lets you chat with celebrities and characters, or I don't know much about it, but I know that it's out there. And last but not least, the entire history of you, where people can go through their memories because of an implant in their head. With everything going on with Neuralink, how you can control your phone or even your computer with just your thoughts, there's no telling how it's going to be 10 to 20 years in the future.
Biden came into office, Border Patrol instilled what they call the catch and release policy. Yeah. So under Trump, I covered Trump a little bit when I was a student journalist. Migrants would cross illegally, and as soon as they see Border Patrol, they would run for their lives. Of course, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you would imagine. Under Biden, I remember I didn't know about this, but when I got to the border for my very first time under the Biden administration, which is back in March of 2021, I was in McAllen, Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley. I ran into a group of 300 migrants in the middle of the night. and 300 is a lot of bodies to see. And I was shocked because when I went to go interact with the migrants, they were all looking to turn themselves into Border Patrol. And I didn't get it at that time because I'm like, wait, what? Aren't you supposed to like want to run away?
Yeah.
And what we learned is under the Biden administration, they didn't obviously announce it. There was the catch and release. So meaning that if you're a migrant, you cross illegally, which is breaking U.S. law, you reach American soil, Border Patrol would apprehend you. They would process you. And likely within 72 hours, you were then paroled into the United States, meaning you were released. Most of them are released what they call the NTA. That's a notice to appear to a future court date. At that stage, migrants had court dates within 6 months to a year. The illegal crossings got so bad and got so overwhelmed by the tail end of the story, we were running into migrants that didn't have court dates till 2029.
Right.
So we were running into Venezuelans who'd be like, oh, I don't have to see a judge for like 2028, 6 to 5 years out. So that was kind of like the biggest lesson is that, because once the catch and release was instilled, migrants just knew as soon as I reach American soil, I'm likely to get released in the U.S.
Yeah.
When Biden...
My life has been ruined, so I'm going to ruin yours, okay? Are you a nail biter like me? I've been a nail biter my whole life. We've tried different things. We've tried putting Bix on my nails. We tried everything. But a couple days ago, I was on TikTok, and this girl was talking about how her mom got her to stop biting her nails. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to know, because my anxiety is insane. I be biting my nails. Turns out, there's little tiny pinworms under your nails. Pinworms come from your asshole. Kids get them a lot. I don't know if you ever heard about kids getting pinworms and their assholes be itching. It's because once they wipe their butt, they could wash their hands or whatever, they bite their nails. Those pinworms that are in your nails, even if you wash your hands, it doesn't matter, even if you wash your fucking hands. Pinworms you put in your mouth, go in your mouth, go into your intestine, and come out of your ass, and they itch your ass. They itch your ass.
I used to have a terrible, terrible habit of biting my nails since I was little. Like her nails still looked okay unless they're fake. But I used to bite my nails down. You seen people that bite their nails, how disgusting they look? It used to be like that, like from elementary all the way until I'll tell you how I stopped it. And once in a while, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes mama bears out the house with the baby. I'm sitting on the couch. Old habits come back. I might sacrifice a couple nails here and there, right? But they're not all 10 of them gone. 99% of the time, I don't bite my nails no more. The habit went away. I don't know why. Well, kind of. When me and my ex-wife got a divorce. Quit biting my nails. I don't know. A couple other bad habits I had just disappeared. Disappeared after that. So take it how you want, but that's how I got rid of my habit. When that headache went out of my life, the nails started flourishing,
Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
It's a tremendous
So
job.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
I told y'all what I seen and what happened to me at Diddy house, and y'all finally finna see what the fuck really been going on. His lawyer that he's done paid millions of fucking dollars to fight his case has withdrawn from fighting the case. You wanna know why he's withdrawing from fighting the case? Because he just got the court papers in. The discovery. Everything that's been going on in that house that they know of. This lawyer seen that shit and instantly said he can't do this no more. This man don't even want to be guilty by association. He don't even want to fight what it was that he's seeing in them papers. I'm going to show y'all what's in them papers. I'm going to post it on my next slide because everybody needs to know what's really been going on up in that house. Every single room had something different that was going on. That lawyer is really realizing who he was fighting for and realized that it ain't worth it for a check. It is not worth going to hell for a check. The stuff that went on in that house, man, I'm telling y'all, if y'all see that a lawyer is withdrawn from the case, y'all know what's going on. And for those that don't, I'm about to post it on my next video. So make sure y'all follow me for part 2.
Now, I did a reaction on my second channel a while ago, y'all. It's down there somewhere if you go look. But everyone in the comments was saying this is fake, whatever, whatever. But he talked about he was like an up and comer like YouTuber or TikToker or something. So he got invited. Him and his friend got invited to this party, and they had all these different rooms, right? Different color. Like one room was yellow. The theme was yellow. One room was red. And each room they did different things. Like the first room, it started off light, like everyone was friendly to each other. The second room, everyone told jokes, everyone was laughing. In the third room, it was like food, and people like gorged themselves like overboard, like just. And in the next room, it was like it started getting worse and worse. Started like getting to being mean and like downgrading everybody. And so he was saying that, and then he got to the last door where they had to you know, swear on some type of Bible, but it wasn't the Bible. And that's where he said, I'm not going to do it. They kicked him out. His friend went on to the next one. I forgot what he said he saw because he like snuck around the back and looked through the window or whatever. And he said what he saw, like he couldn't even say it on camera. But he was telling a story. Was it real? Was it not? I don't know. But you hear all these stories about different rooms at celebrity parties and stuff that I don't know. Maybe it's some facts in there.
Zana, I'm not saying you're next, baby, but this is interesting. Wait, didn't we already do this? Yep, I told you on January 31st of this year that I wasn't saying you were next, but it was interesting. Like wild things. A few of you clapped back on that video I made on January 31st and said, hey, we have 3 trees to burn. There's nothing. The reason that you popped up on my radar is because insurance companies are progressively canceling certain parts of their policy or the policy in its entirety just 3 to 4 months before wild things happen. I'm sure if you're a resident there, you've noticed that either your policy was canceled for that certain clause, the entire thing was canceled, or you've had a really difficult time obtaining new insurance. There's nothing to burn. Au contraire, just today, as of March 14th, 2025, your city council for Phoenix, Arizona has come back and said in a statement today, to clarify today, that you have 41,000 acres at high risk of wild things. Have you noticed your fire department's coming out and fixing all the hydrants lately? Yeah, that's not a coincidence. So scrambling right now to figure out exactly how much water is being used by residents, commercial, and hydrants and needed for wild things, and do you have enough water? Now, while they're coming back and saying, yes, of course you have enough water, they are concerned about the flow to pumps. Certain pumps. Were you aware of the 41,000 acres at risk? Oh, I'm sorry, high risk. But given the 3 to 4 months timeline, I would say that you have 3 to 4 weeks left. And smart meters? And I hear Home Depot has a sale on blue paint now.
Hopefully this doesn't get copyrighted, y'all.
Thanks to the latest budget cuts, I'm down to using grade F meat.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if there was some sort of common solution to both our problems?
That would be great.
Jimbo, why don't you assist Lunch Lady Doris in the kitchen?
Fight me, Skinner.
Well, might we?
You up.
The sandwich tastes so young and impudent. See more of us with a good grab.
Well, perhaps I ought to let you folks in on a secret. You remember me telling Jimbo Jones that I'd make something of him one day?
Are you saying you killed Jimbo, processed his carcass, and served him for lunch?
I remember this as a kid.
Mark, it strike you as odd that Uter disappeared and suddenly they're serving us this mysterious food called Uterbraten?
Oh, relax, kids. I've got a gut feeling Uter's around here somewhere.
Since so many students have been put on permanent detention, we've merged everyone into a single class.
When I found out that McDonald's have a contract with over 10,000 hospitals across the world,
why not?
I'm trying to figure out, how does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
How does that make sense, bro?
When did you ever go into a hospital to recover from anything and feel like you were better in any way in this sterile environment with these laminate floors, with these wounds that look like you're actually about to be processed for a custodial sentence? When did you ever feel?
That's why I call a hospital a house of hospitality.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, the house of hospitality. I'll make you comfortable until you die. Don't worry.
You feel comfortable. Electric this,
Nothing
electric
to
that.
worry about when you're dying. You know what I'm saying?
People who eat hot dogs eat them because they taste so good. But what's in them is not so good. You know, we've learned to accept it, but I don't know if you'll feel so accepting after this. The company Clear Foods recently analyzed 345 hot dog and sausage products from 75 brands and retailers and found, are you hot dog lovers ready for this? Human DNA in 2% of the samples and in 2/3 of the vegetarian samples. Human DNA.
Whoa, Mama, the electric chair. Smell that, Ralph? That's the smell of justice. Smells like hot dogs.
They're making our food out of paper. Next thing they'll be breeding is like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them. Promise, Tiger, I promise. I'll tell the exchange. You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them. Silent free these people!
Relax, honey. You were just having a crazy nightmare. You're back with your family now where there's nothing to be afraid of. Except that fog that turns people inside out.
Huh?
Uh-oh, it's seeping in. Stupid cheap weather stripping.
Okay, now I'm just putting this out there. This is entertainment purposes only, just to get you guys to think. Now, I've said something like this before. Anybody that's had a positive experience with this, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying this is a conspiracy news breaking type channel, right? Is your children, because that guy said 10,000 hospitals got contracts with McDonald's. The children's hospital I'm at now, the children's hospital in the Phoenix Children's Hospital has a McDonald's McDonald's the clown, I forgot his name, Ronald McDonald statue in the front, sitting on the bench for you to take pictures, and it's like the Ronald McDonald Hospital, right? Is your children's hospital like that? I'm just saying. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but let me know down below. Do your hospitals have to do with McDonald's? Let me know.
I'm going to show you 3 artifacts that seem to defy evolution. This was found in 1912 in a coal mine. It was in a large piece of coal. It broke open. This is a replica of that cup. That's the original cup. What's an iron cup doing in coal? Unless coal was formed at the same time that iron was. That does not support evolution. This right here is the London hammer. Here is the original. What's interesting about this is it's encased in alluvial stone. You could make the argument this is, great-grandfather's iron hammer, but this is starting to coalize, and there's a little nick that was taken out of it 75 years ago. It's right there, and it didn't rust, and it has chlorine in it. Here's the chemical makeup right there. Iron and a little bit of chlorine, which is unusual. This particular artifact right here, I kind of panned at one time, thinking it was kind of, until I saw the CAT scan. This was found in limestone, which means it's 100 million years old, which it couldn't be because humans weren't that far back. But if people died in the worldwide flood, then this would be encapsulated in limestone. They believe that this is a woman's finger to someone who is over 6 feet tall, and the cross section, very compelling. I can send you this sheet right here if you'd like. So there you have it. Apes, aliens, or Adam, where did we come from, friends?
I told you we've been around for hundreds and millions, if not billions of years, just catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe, just happening and resetting, reset since the beginning of time, y'all. I know it. I can feel it. I see it.
You ever seen a rocket ship take off? When Elon Musk always had a rocket ship take off?
Yep.
They go straight up in the air, but then they curve. But then they curve and they go like this. And they keep on going like this until they get out of sight. And then they land right behind that wall. The wall I'm telling you about, because the earth flat. There's no such thing as up. Let's look at my mama. Yeah, ask your viewers about that.
Well, where did they land?
It land behind the ice wall. And the ice wall is where the sun don't reach. It's no light. It's completely dark. And that's like what really controlling the world over there in the darkness. That's what I'm on. That a lot of people don't know.
Okay.
I just want to keep it real.
Have you ever been there before?
I just told you they won't let me go, right? They don't let nobody go, right? But like, everybody, all the elites, they been there, but I can't go. They won't let nobody go to Alaska. Go to Alaska right now, they're going to stop you at a certain point to where you can't go. Because you can't get to the ice wall. They'll lock you in. So it's like two things you can't do. You can't get out the body and you can't get out the earth. You kind of like locked and locked. You locked in the earth and you locked in your body. That's what I want. I can't make this up.
Okay, we are at a step well.
This freaking puzzle, y'all.
Oh my God, look how cool that is. Oh wow. That's amazing. From the 9th century, I think he said.
With chisels.
Oh my God. Wow.
They built
look
that
at it.
with chisels.
All right, I think all of our
and a
history
hammer.
is complete bullshit. All these facts and figures you learn amount to a hill of beans. It's not a cohesive message. So where do you go to find the truth? And as weird as it is, guys, I think you can find it in fiction. I think someone spitting more facts than anyone is a guy who makes a manga called One Piece. It's popular manga in the world, and he talks about everything our history books don't talk about. There's an overarching world government. There are great resets that happen throughout time. There are these massive stone blocks that have the true history of the world carved onto them. I think these blocks are an allegory for reality. That these massive stone buildings we see all over our world are exactly that. They're telling a true history of the world that everyone is lying about. In this show, trying to research what they call the Void Century is punishable by death. They genocided an entire island of scholars who were looking into the true history of the world. I think the Japanese are not as precious about these world narratives as we are. They're an island nation who have private histories that we don't know about. And you can't just come out and say it, so you have to hide it in literature, in fiction, and hope that there are people who can interpret it. And there are so many answers in One Piece. I almost want to make my channel just diving into fucking One Piece and the real world comparisons that are there. But I do think that the world government that currently exists wants to do another reset. I think there have been resets of history in the past, and I think they're gearing up for one pretty soon. That's kind of the whole point of AI. If they had AI during the last reset, I think there would be no hope for any of us. Because I have seen in real time AI videos trying to go attacking exactly what I'm talking about. Fake videos of them tearing down these world fairs. And like, see, it's all plaster and chicken wire, and it's not. I've never seen any of these videos until a couple of years ago. I think fiction is truer than history. At least our history books over the last century. Everyone should read One Piece. It's incredible. It's all just pirates and kings, man.
Think of it like this, right? If you're always by yourself and you're always with you day and night, 24/7, you may as well be best friends with yourself. You know why? Because you're gonna die by yourself, you were born by yourself. So you may as well make this your best friend, your soul. Okay, people always say, Nikita, you're always by yourself, you know, you must be so lonely. The truth is, I don't feel lonely at all. You know, I have people in my life, but I don't need to rely on their every step, you know. Like, I've just become so comfortable with the fact that I can handle shit on my own now.
All right, family, there you have today's video. So Gofi's gonna try to get back to the roots, end of the video. End with something positive, y'all. End with something positive that's just gonna get the mind thinking positive, right? We just to flush everything out we just saw, but get the conversation going in the comments, y'all. I had a lot of questions. I want to see the answers to those. But at the end of the day, y'all, it's a choice. We all have a choice. We have a choice if we want to have a good day or a bad day, no matter what is going on. We all have a choice, y'all. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Appreciate all the love you guys have been showing. You know what to do if you made it this far. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Y'all, I'm gonna go out down, have some lunch. It's a little late. So Gofi had a doctor's appointment. I'm gonna get my blood checked. You know, just routine, yearly blood check, cholesterol, all that. Just get everything checked out, make sure everything's good. So I went to the doctor. It's a little late today, but we got it done, y'all. Got it done. Still might be an hour, close to an hour banger for you guys. Y'all, it was supposed to be a 40-45 minute video, but we chit-chatted a lot. So, but I'm gonna eat. Go out there. Mama Bear wants to plant some vegetables. We went to Home Depot yesterday. We got cilantro, we got jalapenos, we got tomatoes. I think that's all we got for now. So we're gonna plant it. But I told her this is your project. I ain't doing nothing. You water it. You want this, you gotta water it. You gotta take care of it. you know, this is your project. So what I'm gonna do, we bought some like above ground planters. So I'm gonna go lay some tarp out so that soil is not over my rocks. Fill it up with soil, and then hey, have fun, have at it. This is your project. This is your little mental health. This is your therapy. Have fun with it. But let me get a couple jalapenos with my steak when they start blooming, right? So that's the plan today, y'all. And it's a nice 80-degree day out today. So I told her we need to go check the mail, take the baby on a little walk to check the mail, and I'm gonna try to go out there and get a trail run in, and I'm gonna start posting. I'm gonna try to start posting because I don't have Instagram no more, y'all. I deleted it. It's just too much. So I just have you know, YouTube posts. So I'm gonna. It seems that you guys like to see, you know, more than just showing you guys my thumbnail saying, you know, we got a video coming up, right? You guys like when I post stuff about the baby, or when I post stuff about, you know, yard work I'm doing, and I'm doing stuff every day, y'all. So I'm gonna start posting. I'm gonna try to remember to start taking pictures of everything I do and start posting that, so you guys can get a little more insight of what Segovia does, because I don't just sit here on TikTok and do reactions all day, y'all. After this, I'm gonna eat lunch. I'm outside doing yard work, doing chores, y'all. So I'm gonna try to start posting that stuff for you guys, just let you guys know what I'm up to out here, y'all. So, and also make sure you guys send me some clips down below. My email is down below in the link. Send me some TikTok clips you guys want me to look at, y'all. Just remember, don't make them 10-minute TikToks. 2 minutes and under, y'all. Anything longer than that, I don't like to get into unless it's something really good. So if you guys can send me some links down below, you know, we'll put them up on the video. But anyways, y'all, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Later.